el siguiente workshop es a cargo de Michel Marcelino. Él es Senior VP y director para América Latina de Seaborn. Michel nos va a hablar sobre Seaborn, una red para las Américas.
Thanks, Convergencia Latina, for organizing the event. Great event. You know, it's always good to have, you know, to invest some time to talk about the challenge and the opportunities we have in our region. So great discussions in the panel, great presentations. Now let me talk about, you know, Seaborn. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Michel Marcelino. I'm responsible for sales globally, and also I'm the head of Latin America. I joined Seaborn, you know, 6 months ago, but I have 10 years experience on the telecommunications infrastructure business. So talking, you know, a little bit about Seaborn, we are, you know, an independent cable operator. We are a neutral carrier. We operate our own infrastructure. The beauty of being, you know, a neutral carrier is that we have the freedom, you know, to establish partnerships locally, regionally, and worldwide. And we have the freedom also to work with a variety of customers locally, regionally, and also globally. The second topic about our company, as Angie mentioned earlier, we are operational since you know, Q4 2017, 3 years operational. We have, you know, even though it is, you know, a short period of time, I think we are doing great. We have one of the most talents, you know, and experienced team in the industry. You know, considering the whole experience we have internally, you know, and the projects we've been working, you know, in the past years, if we sum up everything, you know, we have interesting numbers as a group. We have built more than 75 land stations worldwide. We have built more than 250 global POPs. And, you know, more interesting is that we have deployed, you know, more than 250,000 kilometers of subsea fiber optic. You know, considering the assets we have, the talents we have, we believe that, you know, we are very well positioned to address, you know, the telecommunications needs, you know, across the region and also beyond. The title of the workshop says a network for the Americas. This is how our network looks like today. I'm going to explore, you know, some details over the next few slides, but primarily I would like to show we have this, you know, red line, which is the Seabras 1 infrastructure, the cable that we deployed by ourselves and we operate the cable. And then we have also a fiber on the AMX1, the green line that you can see here. This is a cable that it is owned by America Mobile. And then we have, as I said, you know, a partnership, and then we have a fiber within this infrastructure. Seabras 1, the red line, connects New York to Sao Paulo, and the AMX1 connects Jacksonville in Florida to Rio de Janeiro. And also, as you can see here in the diagram, we have, you know, connectivity, you know, across the United States. We have partners, and then we have wavelengths, leased lines that, you know, allow us to, you know, connect the major POPs and IX within the US. And from the US, we connect Europe. We use multiple existing infrastructure right now. And also on the West Coast, we connect Asia through a partnership. And then when you see we have a third, you know, infrastructure here, this is the Monet cable. We have a strategic partnership with one of the owners, and we also use this infrastructure when we have to provide, you know, a fully protected circuits to some customers. And also through partnerships, we have some connections in the region. We have, you know, we provide connectivity between Brazil to Argentina, Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. Now, turning to our own infrastructure, this is the Seabras 1, the cable that we own. This is, almost 11,000 kilometers cable. As I said, the connections are in New York and in Sao Paulo. This is, 6 fiber pairs infrastructure. When we deployed the cable, as you can see here, we have, these, blue and white boxes along the cable. Those are the branch units, right? Meaning that our infrastructure is ready to be extended to other regions, right? And then we have, a branch unit, in front of Virginia Beach, which is a very well-known place within the telecommunications industry. We also have a branch unit in Miami. We have another branch unit, San Croix. This is going to be the one that, potentially will be used to connect Caribbean and Central America, as Andy said earlier. Then we have, a branch unit in Fortaleza, Brazil North, Rio de Janeiro, and what we call Brazil South. Here in the Brazil North, we have released a communication a few weeks ago. We have signed a MOU with a strategic partner, and we are gonna extend our cable to Recife. Recife is, the biggest city in the northeast of Brazil, very important hub of, economy and development. And then, we are still, finalizing the final documents, and hopefully over the next, few weeks, we're gonna be able to release who is the partner and what type of infrastructure we are gonna have in that region. What I can tell you from now is that this is gonna be operational by, Q4 2021, okay? And then, considering the other branch units, we can easily connect Africa. And if we have a project to extend our cable to Argentina, we can use one of the branch units we have here in the south area of Brazil. The other infrastructure we have is the fiber within the AMX1. And as I said, it connects Jacksonville in Florida to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. From Jacksonville, we have, a comprehensive, fiber rings connecting Washburn, New York, and also Miami. And from Rio de Janeiro to Sao Paulo, we also have a, comprehensive, capacity connecting, both states. So AMX1 is going to be live hopefully by the end of this month. We are just, installing the equipment, installing the cards, and, as of next month, we're going to be ready to provide, great services to our customers. Talking about, the network architecture in Brazil, this is, as I said, we have the Praia Grande, which is the, land station for the Seaborn and for the Monet, the other infrastructure we have. And then we have, a diverse roads connecting the major data centers in Sao Paulo. We have points of presence in all the Equinix facilities in Sao Paulo, plus Tiviti, B3, which is the Brazilian Stock Exchange, and also Odata. We have plans to expand our presence to other data centers. We are still on the developing side to be able to make the right investments. And then here in Rio de Janeiro, since the cable lands in Rio, we have our POP in Equinix RJ2, and we just opened up a new POP at Teleporto, which is a very well-known POP for the competitive carriers in Brazil. And then to protect the whole network, we have 3 different routes connecting Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. This is the topology, the detailed topology that we have here in São Paulo. From our cable land station, we have diverse routes reaching out São Paulo, and then we have this, fiber ring that brings resilience to our network. One important thing that as we have in many other countries, we only use underground networks. We don't have a single meter of aerial networks, and then it makes us able to provide high SLAs to our local and also international customers. This is, as I mentioned, the main POPs we reach in US through partnerships, and we have high capacity contracted, so we can easily connect east to west, and from both locations we connect Europe and also Asia. This is, the detailed architecture that we have from our cable end station in Wall, in New Jersey area, and then we have those major POPs as our core. So we have presence in data pipe, 165 House A, Equinix, Secacus, Digital Realty, 1400 Federal, Equinix, 60 Hudson, and 111 8th Avenue Digital Realty. So this is a pretty resilient network, ideally for the financial segment and for carriers that are looking for connectivity in one of the IX that we have in those regions. Again, this is 100% underground, no aerial cables to connect our network. And then this is the Latin America architecture. We have partnerships. As I said, we are neutral carrier. We have the flexibility to establish partnerships and offer solutions to our customers. We don't like only to sell pop-to-pop connectivity. We are here to help international customers to get the right connectivity in the region and to the region. So through partnerships, we have pre-established contracts and pre-established capacity, contracted capacity. So from São Paulo and from US, today we are able to provide connectivity in Bogotá, Quito, Lima, Santiago, and Buenos Aires through partnerships. Okay, so mainly considering the whole network we have our own IP transit service. This is pretty new for us. It has less than 12 months. We used to sell other IP from a partner, but then we decided to build up our own IP network, and I think we've been very successful in doing that. So we have great connectivity in US. We connect directly with the major tier 1 networks in US and Europe. We also offer to our customers, besides the IP, we offer remote peering services. We just signed a partnership with the Kicks, so now we are able to provide peering to our customers. And then we have many other services, IP services related. Also, we provide Ethernet services, right? Different types of Ethernet services, different types of transport wavelengths, from 1 gig to 10 gig or more if needed, point-to-point connectivity. And we have one special product to the financial industry, to the financial segment, which is the C-Speed ultra-low latency product. If you see here in the table, this is the latency measured between NASDAQ and the Brazilian Stock Exchange. So depending on we have what we call tier 1 product, right? And then the latency, measured is 105 millisecond, which is the lowest latency between, São Paulo and New York. And then we have, several other, products to also the financial market. And then finally, we have, what we call C-Cloud, cloud-centric capacity, which is basically we sell, burst. If somebody wants to buy, a wave or IP, but they know that they have peaks during the day or during the month, we are able to provide, these burstable services. So I think this is it, quick presentation about our company, about our network, and now I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
A medida que algunos cables llegan al fin de su vida útil, ¿ve más factible el uso de las mismas licencias de aterrizaje y rutas o el desarrollo de nuevas rutas?
Considering the experience we have, the thing is, if you see, some of the infrastructure, that we have today in place in our region, they were deployed, 15, 20 years ago, right? And since then, there will be a lot of, technological improvements, right? So what I understand is that it is possible to upgrade at, certain level, but what I've seen is that, considering the new technology in place, some companies, they prefer to deploy a new whole system, because there is a gap between, 10 to 15 years, this technological gap, I would say, okay? And then, aging, when we see some regions, there are three drivers when a subsea company decides to invest in a new location. The first one is the need of connectivity, right? There is no connectivity in one specific place. The second one is the, demand. So data growth, they need more capacity, they need more, systems. And the third one is the aging of the existing infrastructure, right? This is something that, we at Seaborn, we know all the, age of the old systems. And we take this in consideration when we deploy a new, cable.
Si nos puedes indicar el valor promedio de capacidad por megabyte en la región en América Latina y si coincides con esta variabilidad entre países que se mencionaba anteriormente.
I can send my email, and then I prefer to discuss, price in a separate conversation. But what I can tell you is that, pricing is going down every year, right? We have what we call a sweet spot right now, but depending on the capacity, I can tell you, 100 gig wave from US to Brazil, for instance, okay? The price per meg has dropped 40% over the last 18 months, okay? 40%, which is a lot, Also for the 10 gig, wave, we see, a kind of erosion as well, not 40%, but I would say 15 to 20% price erosion, right? This is, different scenario, many suppliers, very competitive environment, data is growing, everyone knows. In our case, over the last 9 months, our capacity has increased 60%. So this is a new environment, What I can tell you is that, we still see, a decline in our prices.
Si tuvieras que comparar cómo ven el mercado brasileño en comparación hoy con lo que encontraron cuando inició operaciones el Cibras 1, ¿cómo describirías esos dos escenarios?
Well, this is a completely different scenario, the competitive landscape. Actually, the initial project for Seaborn started back in 2012. 2012, a group of entrepreneurs, they started to, analyze the current situation in Latin America, right? It's been, 3 years. We had no idea about the COVID, right? We didn't know. Actually, we don't know what's going to happen, over the next 9 months, right? Now we have more, competition. We have new subsea cables arriving, right? 3 years ago, we were, the new kids on the block, right? Right now, there will be another, systems, right? And incumbents, they are deploying more systems. But the good thing about this is that also we are seeing this cloudification, this journey to the cloud. We are seeing the streaming, right? TV, it's going to be different from now on. We have Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix. We have YouTube, influencers. Things are shifting, right? And I think, in terms of investment, I think we've done the right thing. I think we are in the right place at the right moment, right? When we talk about the enterprise, as Falzoni was explaining early, you know, cloud providers, software as a service. In Brazil, only 20% of the companies use outside data centers. 80% still have their own data centers as their own premises. So there will be I think we are at the beginning of this new cloudification journey, streaming, gaming. So this is a completely different scenario. Every time, every day we get new quotes, and we've been discussing new alternatives out of the box solutions to bring the content closer to the end user, as was mentioned earlier.